Hey everybody, we are in the furthest back part of the yard again, and we're going to be pruning back some of this collected stuff that's back here already. But we're also going to be doing sort of a review and get my thoughts on what I think of these, which one may be the best overall for me, which I ended up buying all three, but I might give you guys an idea on what would be the best one to order just to use for your smaller, branching leaves, maybe they haven't quite turned into branches, or the real small ones. So let's get to it. I'm gonna just excuse the birds in the background. They're going nuts. When I first got back here, there was like a rabbit, a squirrel, a cat, and 5 birds. They were having a party or something. But anyway, let's go right to it. These are the more expensive of the bunch. All 3 of these, by the way, are Joseph Bentley, bypass pruners. These are considered, I think they call 7-inch, but you can see they're styled different than the other 2. Now this is the 7-inch, and it does look like it's got the replaceable blade. This part isn't replaceable at all. On this one, I think it is. I think you can order both pieces, is why I think it is a more expensive one, angled just a little bit more of a turn. And then this is the 8-inch. This is what I was originally going to get, and I spotted these other 2, so I was like, well, I'll get all 3 and kind of try them out, test, review, whatever, because I needed something in between. I've got those little bonsai looking scissors, and bigger size, it's just not good for much of anything. So we're gonna jump in there and get to cutting up stuff, test these out, doing some heavy pruning back on some of this stuff. I may even take some of these other tree branches. We'll just see how big, when it comes to the bigger size branches, what these guys can cut. So here we go. All right guys, so what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna test these. Here's the 8, the 7, and 7 in a weird style. Actually, so far I think I like this one the best, but I'm gonna see how far down they'll cut. They shouldn't cut that whole thing all the way to the bottom as far as I'm gonna want it cut. The 8, in my mind anyway, should cut more than these 2 7s. This one will probably cut the least, so I'm gonna start with it first and just see how far down this tree, which I need to cut back anyway. So I'm sure it'll cut, this size here. And it cut right through that. And it should cut down to here. Let's see, you guys can see that. The sun's right in the way, but yeah, it cuts that fine. Now, I think it's gonna struggle. I'll cut some of these little ones out of the way real quick here. With this, it probably will struggle, but we'll try it. Yeah, it'll cut it, but I'm squeezing very hard. Try to get the size I'm showing you. So I would call that, I don't know if you can make out the size, that's probably maxed out for these guys. It cut it, but I had to squeeze pretty hard, and I'll call that good. So I'm going to go right below that cut. Right here's where I cut with those, and I'm going to go, these are the 7-inch, and I'm going to go just below it and see if they cut it. Yeah, they cut it, they struggled a little. Let me try it. Yeah, they cut a little easier than those other ones, but they're still, that's about the limit. So let me switch gears here. And so here's where we stopped with the 7. These are the 8. And actually they struggle just as much. Yeah, there's not a huge difference in the 7 and the 8s. So let's go back to these guys. Now here's where we were. Now here's this little guy. We'll just cut him out of the way. He's not needed anyway. And we'll cut these back. We're cutting all this off. Let's get to where we're at. Okay, so they'll all handle this size. Either one of these. Now this is pushing it, and I'll double check this guy again and see. But you can see I chopped that off fairly easy with these. It takes a good hard squeeze, but it'll do it. So now we're going to jump down from that size that we've already established. These guys, all three of them will cut. We're going to go to the next size, which this is, I don't think any of them are rated supposed to be able to cut these. That's probably close to 1 3/4 inches. And we're going to start with this guy. He can't even hardly go around it, if you can make that out. So, yeah. I could probably get this cut done, but I'm going to stop it. It will not cut that. It probably would, but you'd stand a chance of bending and breaking something. Stand a chance of messing up your shears or your hand. So I'm going to try this guy. It's a 7-inch. Right where we cut, I actually into the cut. And it's the same way. That's the limit. I don't know the exact measurements, but if you guys can make out this thickness, they'll all three cut, or anything thinner, up to the real fine, you know, just cutting the tips off of your, on a light pruning. But when it comes to that thicker diameter there, the 2/7 stop. So we're going to see if the 8 is maybe worthwhile getting over any of the others. Now I did already cut twice now, so we're going to go with the 8 right there. And now it's the same thing. That thickness right there stopped all three of these from cutting. As you can tell, I can cut right through this size. Now it takes a little bit for that size. This size is easy. Now these are all three brand new too, so once they get a little age on them. Now this guy could probably come around, you know, and how we've all done it. You got to like circle around what you're cutting in order to get it to cut through. And now it's cutting through it. So I cut it like that, but this guy struggled. And I'll try one more to show you. Now this is completely, nothing's cut on this part here yet. And this is the 8-inch. You can see I cut it, but that took a lot. So that probably cut just a hair more, but I don't know if it warrants having the bigger ones over your, I think I may have already messed these up too. If you guys can hear that. They didn't do that earlier. So yeah, it cut it, but I think I've already got these on a nick in them just from squeezing so hard. Alright guys, hope you like this video. We compared the three, and for me, I like these. They just seem easier to use. They've got this, you know, real easy to get to lock. So this is, you know, I have all three, so I'll probably just use them. But thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, help me share this channel, Bass and Bonsai. We do both here. And like always guys, thanks for watching.